Welcome to the Queen We Got You podcast, and I'm your host Kerry, and I am joined today by my beautiful co-host by my side, Kelly.
Hello.
And the beautiful other co-host, Monique, who
From
is all the way from India. How are you both?
Good.
Good.
Oh, this is such a fun thing to do. So it's our first time that we have done it, being apart, which is pretty fun. So today our topic is going to be about are you training hard enough in the gym?
Yes.
So I think we can all go along to the gym and think we're training hard, but we're going to actually delve into that today to make sure you're getting the best out of your workouts. So before we get into that, I'm going to ask these two ladies, how has your week been? So let's go all the way to India and ask Monique.
I feel like you've got the most to talk about.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like there's a lot to talk about, but there also isn't a lot to talk about because I'm here for a show and that is it. So I would have loved to have come to you today with a beautiful temple in the background or something amazing from my hotel room. Because, we're over here for the ICN India first show of 2024, which has been very, very exciting. And just everything, we landed Monday last week, so been here a week now. Show was on Saturday. So everything's just been leading up to the show. We've not done a lot of touristy stuff. Previously we've gone on tours and done all that stuff. We just didn't have time because we landed in Mumbai for a couple of days. Then we caught a train to Surat. And if anyone's seen the India trains, no, we were not on one of those ones with the goats and the chickens and the people on the roof. Which was my first, we've all seen on TV travel shows and socials, those trains where it's hundreds of people. We were not on that train. We were on an executive train, which was really, really, really nice.
Oh, nice.
But cruising through, we saw some of those crazier trains and there are so many people in India. There's just so many people. And the trains coming through the stations, some stations don't stop because not a planned stop. So you see people jumping out and running on platforms it's wild.
So weird.
And then we've got to a town here which is known as the diamond capital. It's basically, I think 70% of the world's diamonds come through this town.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is where they get manufactured and cleaned and all the things, and then they go back out. So it's a very interesting place, but it's very, very traditional.
Yeah.
So you're walking around and not many tourists come here.
Okay.
So being a white girl is very interesting. I've had to singlet tops I don't wear out because I'm just it draws too much attention. So things like that, it's just been interesting. But also, it's a dry state firstly. So no alcohol, which is fine because I don't drink at the moment. But also almost everything is vegetarian.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, wow.
And not just a little bit vegetarian, but vegan level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had eggs in days.
So hence Paul's comment about wanting steak and veg when he gets home. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been very tricky as a someone who counts their calories, counts their macros, and lives a high protein diet.
Yeah.
It is so hard. So relying on protein powder, and I don't have enough because I didn't think this was going to be the case. It's fine, but it's it's interesting. And obviously back home, we have a lot of people who are vegan and vegetarian who live this lifestyle, but we have all the supplements. We have accessibility to so much stuff. And it's also the other thing that's been really challenging is fresh vegetables. It's near impossible to get fresh vegetables. So you can get a curry or a stir fry, but it's mostly sauce.
Yeah,
With
okay. So when you're ordering out,
vegetable.
you can't order your side dishes and things like that.
No. Plain rice, can't get plain rice.
Wow.
So it's been
that would
really
be a
tricky,
challenge,
really challenging.
Wow.
Because the other places have been more mainstream, a bit more touristy, much more Western influence, and here not so much. So it's been very eye-opening. the boys yesterday were like, we need protein. We need to go find something. And we ended up at McDonald's.
Oh.
We
Yay.
ended up at McDonald's because it's the only place we get protein.
Yeah.
McChicken, which is not even real freaking chicken. So anyways,
To make you feel like
it's been
you're
amazing.
eating chicken.
It's a good old fillet or fish. I think that always comes in handy.
Didn't have it, don't have it here.
Oh my goodness.
The only thing was McChicken.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no, the show was amazing. So everyone that
loved
saw
it.
my socials would have seen the incredible JHRER. Like seriously, give him like the ICN World Presidency. Just hand it to him. Like he is freaking incredible with what he's done. And the athletes all love the show, and it's really interesting sitting back and watching. Like back home, we have so many shows all the time, and if you don't win, some people get the shits, and there's a lot of like post-show negativity.
Yeah.
You have absolutely the people that are happy, but you also have a lot of negative energy around it.
Yeah.
I've never seen people celebrate a 5th place as hard as I freaking do here.
That's so
Like,
good.
it's amazing. It's a completely different vibe, and it's just incredible. And people that don't do as well, they just want to know their feedback, and they just
Yeah.
want to be better. Like, there's
That's so good.
hardly
Amazing.
any, like, there's been no kickback on the judging not being fair or anything like that, because people are just, I think they're more appreciative for the opportunity to compete to
Yes.
begin with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
Yeah. So anyways, it's been incredible, and that's that. We're here. Catch another train tonight, and then in a few more days we head back home to Australia, and yes, I'm banging for some eggs and steak and some broccoli.
Good old steak and veg, mate.
Yeah.
Seriously,
It's funny what
once
you
I
crave,
hear that
isn't
Barbie
it?
fire up,
That's what happened when I went overseas too. All Lee and I wanted was steak and vegetables in the end. We're like, oh, we're so over this.
yeah, no, that's been amazing. Been amazing. Anyways, Cal, how's your week, babe? It's been
Oh.
weird not seeing you.
I know, it's so weird not seeing you guys. I mean, I get to see a giant version of Paul every day on our wall, so that's amazing. I'm so glad he left that behind.
I love that for you. Yeah, well, it wasn't staying in my house, I'll tell you that much.
No, I'm not sure that would have fit anywhere.
He would have cut it and made it into a doona cover.
What's he gonna make it into a blanket? No, my week's been better, odd, better, good, great, all the things.
Wow.
Yeah, my training's going really good. My hip flexor and my TFL is a lot better, so that's like
That's good.
a big thing off of my chest. So I've just started slowly increasing my weights again and everything like that. So my upper body never really lagged anything, but I've just started kind of doing better upper body session, what I would deem to be better upper body session, lower body sessions. So that's been good. I had this really weird thing with my weight at the start of last week, and Paul actually messaged me so I have my check-ins on Monday, and it spiked a lot, and then by Wednesday I'd lost like 1.7 kilos, and Paul's messaged me and gone, what the fuck?
What the fuck just
I
happened?
don't know what's happened. He's like, he got all psychological with me in this morning's check-in, because obviously, you know, we're both coaches, so I think that when I get my feedback, he kind of approaches it from a coaching perspective as well. So it's like, it's really handy. But he's like, it's very interesting looking, you know, is this the psychological aspect of like you now not like knowing that you don't have any more boot camps on weekends? Are you less stressed? Did you body just let go of everything? But I also had 2 refeed days last weekend, so it's like there's all these components.
Yeah, wow.
I've been like, anyway, so he's like, whatever you're doing, just keep doing that. And I'm like, all right, done. So that's always good check-in feedback from your coach when they're like, good job, keep doing it. It's like, okay,
Keep doing it.
Sweet. So that's been great. I've had some really cool conversations. I put a post up yesterday about going to the gym and having anxiety about going to the gym. And I had so many people message me and they're like, what do you mean? Like, you're a coach. And I'm like, and I'm still a human being. Like, I'm a person. I still have those feelings. Like, it doesn't make me any less immune than someone else. So it's, and they're like, well, what was it about? And I'm like, well, I don't really know. Like, I just was nervous to go. Like, and then I had a bigger conversation with my business coach about this. And she's like, well, what do you think, like, is underlying this? And I said, it's just weird because the gym that I go to has a very broad range of people, right? Like, there's people from all kinds of walks of life, which is something I actually love about Easy Fit. Yeah. But at the same time, I get looked at in the same room in 5 different ways. And so because I'm starting to kind of lean down a little bit and you can kind of see muscle under what I've, got here, I've got an older guy who's staring at me so disapprovingly that I have any muscle at all because, I'm a girl and, he's probably in his 70s, so he's a bit like this at me. And then I've got another guy who's looking at me lifting weights and he's just like this.
No,
and
he's
then
probably
I've got,
thinking, I wish I was fucking lifting.
yeah, well, he's like, he was probably like, why does she have bigger delts than me?
Yeah.
But then I've got a lady who, the only bench left available was next to her. Yeah. And she was lifting light weights, which is fine. Everyone starts somewhere, all of those things. And I've come up next to her and I'm like shoulder pressing 15 kilo dumbbells. And then she's looked at me and put her dumbbells away and gone on the treadmill until I left. And then she came back and finished her set. And so that was really weird. Like, anyway, so I'm just like, I don't know where I fit in the gym. Like, I'm just a normal person. I'm just doing my workout and I train intensely because that's just who I am and what I've always done. And I'm a bodybuilder and I've got goals but I get looked at several different ways and I just think that that's part of it is I just don't know who to expect like when I get there. And so it's like cap on, headphones in, like, but luckily when I got there, Charlie was there yesterday and she did we had a good chat and she did a set with me and she was just like, holy fuck, you are lifting some weights still. Like, you might feel hungry, but you're still pushing some weights. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, well, there you go. And just that one small interaction with someone that was familiar, because Lee couldn't come with me yesterday because he looks like he's been hit by a truck. So that one small interaction just put a smile on my face and I just didn't give a shit what was around me then. So, like, it was just a friendly face that I saw. And so, but I got a lot of people messaging me just being like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, you know how to train? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
But is that the first
it's
time
not about
that's
that though,
happened
right?
for a while?
Yeah. I think it's just that, like, sometimes I'm just self-conscious and on those days are the days that tends to happen. It's not, like, it doesn't happen all the time, but it's also because I'm just in the habit of, I have set days that I go to the gym. I will go anyway. Yeah. It's just that when we talk about and make it happen.
I get anxiety, but it's due to my period. Do you mean like we spoke about this before?
Well, funny you say that because I'm pretty sure I'm due this week.
Yes, that could be it. It could just be that starting, but obviously...
Yeah, because it's that weird time, right?
Yes. Yeah, so you can put them together, and that's probably, the reason what was behind that in the beginning.
So there you go. That's my week.
You went for a nice walk. Don't forget about that.
Oh, we went for a really nice... Oh, my God. I did 19,000 steps. What day did we go?
Why?
Anzac Day was on Thursday.
Because I already had like 7, and then Kerry and I went for a walk, and we started at Kawana Beach House,
Surf Club,
which was a terrible idea because there was like a million people.
I completely forgot it was Anzac Day, and people were still drinking at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and we could not park anywhere. Everyone was like down the street. So anyway.
But we walked all the way to the point and back.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was
a nice walk. It was beautiful weather. It was nice, yeah.
Very good chats.
Yeah.
How about you, miss?
Having a good week. I'm feeling really good this week, to be honest, in terms of my sleep's great, my food's great, steps are great, work's great. So I've had a good week in all things like that. And Then at the weekend, I took part in an online webinar with Clean Health.
Saw that.
And I'm so gutted that I didn't go, but I know everyone was busy this weekend, all my PT friends, because there were shows on, they have competitors, or they're competing, whoever it might be. But next year, I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know...
It was
sorry.
I was going to say it was a bad weekend, but it was a bad weekend for them to have it.
It was
because
so
I really
bad.
go as well.
Yeah.
So many comps on and big comps.
There was like
bad
4.
weekend, guys.
Yeah, there was 4, because there was FMG, there was ICN, NBA,
Yeah.
so there was quite, and IFBB,
But
there
there
was
was
quite a lot on.
2 IFBB shows as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy fun to do it that
A lot.
weekend.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know who Clean Health is, they're like an online education portal where you can do like your Cert 3, Cert 4 and a lot of speciality courses too. So a lot of the speciality courses are run by, you can talk about like famous influencers or trainers.
Yes.
So people like Matt Carroll, Lane Norton,
Yeah.
there's
Lane Norton's who I wanted to
Sebastian
see.
Orb as well, he's the Australian strength coach. So they all did seminars over the whole weekend and really, really good. James Smith was really good. I know Kelly has a little... But to be honest, right, out of all of them, he can deliver the best content ever, honestly, in his own way.
Yes.
And there's at one point at the weekend, so I have another favourite person too, and I went off him, I'm not saying who this is, because he tried to be like James Smith in a comment and it came across very wankery. So I'm just like, yeah.
Because James Smith is wankery.
Oh no, but he is good
Monique.
what he does. But anyway.
Hey Kelly, I've got a question. Can I just ask Kelly a question really quick?
Yes, of course.
So Kelly doesn't like James Smith because she went to his thing and all the things.
Yeah.
Hey Kel, before you went, what was your business name?
Up yourself training.
What is it now?
Kelly Greenstein.
What did James Smith say to you?
It was not because of James Smith. Please don't give him that credit. Please don't give him that credit.
Honestly though, but he can deliver the most boring shit and change it
Of
into
course he
something
can.
else. So I'll give you a quick example, right? He was
Personality.
talking about a sales funnel. So he was talking about like how to get to a sale, like one sale. He put this back into his days when he was trying to get one girl into bed. So then he starts off top of the sales funnel is the dance floor. He has to go on the dance floor. He has to get so many girls' numbers on the dance floor to then get so many dates. How to them dates he might get laid once. So this is where he come down the sales funnel. So he was relating back to you're a PT on the gym floor. You do so many walks around and you get numbers, contacts. You then might get 3 consults. You might get 1 sale. But the way he put those together was honestly amazing. And everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, I get that.
Still, regardless of the wankerish shit that happened to me, I still point people in his direction because I will agree with you. He's extremely good at putting things contextually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it keeps you engaged.
Relatable.
And you go, relatable,
Yes,
but
so
you can
relatable.
actually, it just
And
clicks.
funny.
Fun,
It is funny.
And funny, and it makes business sound fun. Do you know what I mean? So it engages you.
Bodybuilders wankers, and that really pisses me off. But anyway, we won't get into that conversation.
But yeah, that was a great weekend, and yeah, I will definitely go on it next year. So I'm actually gonna buy an early bird ticket, and so I'm actually locked into that.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's all go together, girls.
Be great. And then for anyone that's interested in all that education side of things too, Clean Health just bought out Vast, so
Yes,
they now own
did.
Vast.
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Good.
And they've also bought out the Australian Institute of Fitness.
Yeah.
So they are now one of the largest health, nutrition, fitness providers in the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're buying up a lot of stuff. So they're definitely someone to even just follow, even if you don't care about the education side of it, just following along. They're great content.
Good general information anyway.
They do. And they have a lot of free ebooks on there as well, what people can download.
Yeah.
And it's quite affordable as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just PTs or people in the fitness industry who can do these courses. There's a lot of like gem pop ones as well if you just want to get some more knowledge behind you.
Learn but not be a PT.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that.
So yeah, great weekend anyway. So I'd highly recommend. I mean, if anyone wants to upskill in any areas of life, just do it, because more than just having, like I always say, you can do one course. As long as you take one thing away from that, like, you're winning.
Yeah.
But honestly,
Exactly.
I've taken away so many key things this weekend, and I'll also get the recordings of this where I can go back and back and go through it as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Love that.
Cool.
Yeah, so getting into today's topic. So something that we actually was talking about on our walk, and it's just something that we want to kind of people to realize that why you might not be seeing results. And it also comes down to, like, how actually hard are you training in the gym? Because I know people go to the gym, but it actually matters what you actually do in the gym. So turning up, doing your program, speeding through it, leaving, the intensity is not there. So there could be more effort put into every single rep and set that you do. So we're going to talk about that today and how you can maximize your time in the gym.
Yeah.
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 So Kelly, so we was just talking about anyway that yeah, it does matter so much. Like, you're doing your set. Like, are you going to almost failure in every rep, like your rep range that you do? And I think when people start training, it's hard for them to judge.
Well, they don't know yet.
No,
Yeah.
no. And even when someone starts a new training program as well, I give them at least 6 weeks, because that first 1 to 2 weeks is
You're trying to work out where
you're trying to work out where you're at. You're trying to, like, get yourself around your program, and it does take 1 to 2 weeks to actually get the feel of that and where you are starting off with your weights as well.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that you are getting in there and trying your best within each set.
Yeah, it's funny because when we were talking about it, I was saying to Kerry that people will message me and be like, oh, I want to do one of your training sessions like you do with Paul. And I'm like, well, I give you guys the same stuff. Like, he literally taught me how to do everything I know. And it's like, I give you guys very similar, like, programming style or PT sessions. But when I train with Paul, it's like, I put every ounce of effort I have into each movement that I do. So it's like, you have to intentionally be lifting that stuff, because there's people who will come in and they just, like, push through like this, and it's like, you're not feeling anything. You can't be feeling that in the right spot. You're just moving and flailing about, and it's like, it takes time to learn where that is for you, and I appreciate that because when I first started, because this is what we were talking about in our group chat, when I look back and when I first started with Paul, it's like, I never really knew what my strength was. And it wasn't until I had been with Paul for a little while and I'm like, I want to look like those athletes that he has, but I don't. And I've been with him for 6 months. What's going on?
Yeah.
And it's like, you have that conversation and he's like, well, let's start working harder. And it's like, what do you mean? I thought I was doing the stuff and doing the things and, like, you know, ticking boxes and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, but there's a level where it's like, you are working, but then you're pushing yourself. So it's like, and I don't think anyone really knows where that is anymore. It's become so comfortable in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when people are doing a rep or something and they go, oh, that hurts. Oh, that's hard. Now I stop.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between hurting because you're damaging and injuring yourself and hurting because you're training hard and with intensity.
Yeah.
And I notice this a lot, like when I look at people in the gym, because I like to look around, and you'll see them struggle for 1 second and drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you probably, if you just pushed harder, you probably could have got that rep out. You had more in you. And that's the bit that people don't realize, is they have so much more in the reps. They have so much more and they're leaving so much behind.
Yeah.
And I think intensity, people sometimes get that mixed up with speed.
Yes.
And think they have to, like you said, Kerry, have to smash things out.
Sweating.
Like, that's not what it's about, right? Intensity doesn't mean just smashing the reps out, because then as a posing coach, the amount of women I had to come to me who might have had great muscles, but they didn't know how to activate them. They had no idea how to engage.
Yeah.
They were so disconnected because, like, for example, they're doing a lat pull down and they're just like pulling it down, but they don't actually know how to connect with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all those aspects. It's like sometimes the intensity means just slowing the fuck down and actually making that connection, and those hard reps is just really slogging it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like when you were saying before, Moni, like I do find a lot of ladies on the bench press as well. As soon as they get like a little bit scared, okay, I'm not going to get this rep up, they stop. But they have so many more reps left in the tank. Like the speed of the bars are saying they're not even struggling one bit, and I think it's just a panic.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the time I say to girls, well, go on the Smith machine instead.
Yeah.
Because because a lot of things comes from fear as well. So in PT, they're fine, they know they can push a bit more of a threshold because I'm stood behind them helping to spot them.
Yeah.
But like by yourself in the gym, especially bench press, something like maybe a squat, people get scared.
Yeah.
So sometimes like, okay, how can we get you closer to failure? And that would be on a Smith machine or something like more assisted. It just helps them push that a little bit more, and that fear factor kind of like lessens them because it's more assisted and they feel safe in that as well.
Yeah. I think people really need to learn how to use, like, and this is something that I will go through with my clients when they feel like they're hitting that space. And it's like, oh, I don't go harder because of this. Obviously, a bench press is really hard. There's no real fail-safe on a bench press unless you use a Smith machine. But for, like, squats, you can use squat racks with the safety bars.
Yes.
And people don't know how to set that up or whatever it is. So I think that those things are, like, important tools that people are missing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because one of my more recent programs that I've done for my clients, it's called Fitness with a Push. And so it gives you 3 sets of an exercise, and then the 4th set is an AMRAP. And no one knows how to do that. Like, they're like, what do you mean? How many do I do? AMRAP.
Keep going, baby.
As many reps as possible. AMRAP. And they're like, yeah, but what does that mean? And I'm like, well, if you can do 22, do 22. And the funniest thing is, this going back to the psychology side of stuff, is it's like everyone will go, oh, I did 20. So every time I see a 20 or a 25 or something like that as an AMRAP, I'm like, did you go to failure? Because usually you're going to end maybe on 21, maybe on 23, maybe on 20, like it's, but everyone's managing to get to that 5 increment. Do you know what I mean? And that, and then, because in their brain, that's it. They're done.
What was the rep range before that? And did they use the same weight that they did for 10 reps as 22 reps?
Yeah.
Because you can see,
exactly.
You can see how.
But that's the point of this program, because I give them their report and I'm like, tell me you're working hard enough, or like, have a look at this, like explain to me. And they're like, oh, well, I left it because I had the AMRAP, and I'm like, it's not really the point of the AMRAP.
So you can see how that the 10 rep max is, they're going nowhere near the 10 rep max there. That's why I'm asking, because generally
it's
you can
funny,
go,
hey?
they go do 10 reps on that, but they can still get 22 reps out or whatever it is, but it's nowhere near their full potential though. It's insane.
I actually had that on my program maybe 4 months ago. And it's funny because I thought that I was hitting my ceiling. I thought I was getting close because my RPE was like an 8. So I wasn't expected to go to failure anyway. I was expected to get pretty close. And then when the last set was as many as possible, then I very quickly realized, oh, I'm way off where I thought my limit was.
It's a really good one to open people's eyes up.
Yeah, really, really good. And I think even if it's not on your programming, maybe every now and then it's something good just to try and just to see. Like, do your program and then just see, like, hey, how many, if I just went for this and didn't put a number in my head, because absolutely psychologically, those people have said to themselves, just get 20, just get 20, just get 20, tap out. Don't put a number in your head. I just go for it, see what happens. Obviously, not with a back squat or something that's going to actually fatigue you too heavily. Pick your exercise. But great way to test it.
It's always like things that are safe as well, like stuff you can dump really easy, like dumbbell presses or like shoulder press. Everyone knows how to safety dump those, or like lateral raises, or like the accessory ones.
It's interesting you say everyone knows how. I was about to say, people have got to get comfortable with failing it, because I don't think a lot of people do know how.
Yeah.
Like if a lot of people are in a back squat and got stuck at the bottom, do they know how to drop
see
it
the girls
safely?
rolling
Yeah.
it off and pulling their hair. Have you seen
I
that?
have seen that,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah,
Right.
that's quite scary.
Terrifying.
But like on a leg press, do people know how to safely drop a leg press? You know, there's all these things that I think when you're starting out in the gym, going to failure is great, absolutely. Learn your intensity, learn all that stuff, but also learn how to fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you ever going to know where your limit is if you don't fail?
Yeah.
You need to learn how to fail.
Yeah, I think as well, like learning, like failing with good form as well. Like some people,
Exactly.
yeah, it's like when
Throw stuff around
does
again.
your form break down
Yeah.
and knowing, okay, like
Yes.
this is my
the
limit.
limit.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
my limit as well. Because
Yes.
like when I was doing
Yes.
my trap bar the other week, someone said, oh, like, how come you didn't do any more because your form wasn't broken? I said, well, that was the idea. Do you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
know my
Stop
next
before you
one
break it.
would have been a shit one, so that's why
Remember,
I'm
I
like,
messaged
yes.
you and I'm like, damn girl, that's some good form.
But I know number 3 would have
Would
been,
not have been.
pelvic
Yeah.
floor would have gone, and it would have been a shit wreck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just knowing as
Yes.
well when is to quit when your form is breaking or will break down.
Yeah.
Where you
You
can
can feel
potentially
yourself
get
losing the
injured.
tightness
Yes,
and
definitely. Yeah. I think another
Yeah.
thing as well is chasing the burn when we're doing certain exercises too. Because a conversation
Yes.
with a client, she was doing a hip thrust, for instance, wanted to do 30 reps because she felt the burn more. But we're not always chasing the feeling of the burn when we're going heavy.
No.
So I think it's just
No.
taking away, like, we're not always chasing that, or generally not, when we're coming to big compounds and heavy stuff. So it's just knowing that we are not trying to find that, and that doesn't represent of, like,
Yeah,
we
a
should be going there
successful
at range.
session,
Yes,
yeah.
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 Okay, we're a bit like on a time watch here, just because we're on Zoom.
I know.
And,
We
yeah,
got
we're just
3
looking
minutes.
at- we have 3 minutes left, ladies. So we're just making sure
Do-
that
do-
we don't run out and we'll just leave you with nothing.
I was going to say, do you girls want to continue this conversation after?
We can, but...
Have you got more to say?
I don't have a lot more to say.
No, I think it's just for us. We just wanted to just make sure that when people get to the gym, like, we want you to push yourself. Like,
Yeah.
we want you to get better,
Yeah.
to get stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, some days, you know what, when we spoke about before, like, you might turn up one day and it's just because of mental health. You're going to do a workout because it's just going to make you feel great. You don't give a shit what you're lifting,
Yeah.
as in, like, you're not there to hit
Yep.
PBs, hit numbers. But if you're wanting to
Yeah.
make progress with your physique,
Yeah.
you
Know
really
the
need to
difference.
know the difference. And do you know what?
Know
I'm
the
here
difference.
to make progress. I'm here, to get better.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that you are pushing
Yeah.
yourself in those ways
Yeah,
too.
and don't let that, oh, I'm just here to move because I'm having a shit day,
Yeah.
be like 3 days in a row. If it's more than 3 days in a row,
Yeah.
you're probably piking out.
Some of those days can
Yeah.
be the best days where you end up getting some like PBs,
I
like
do it
some
all the
really good
time.
lifts as well.
Yeah.
So don't write yourself off
Yeah.
as you go in. Just see how it pans out, and it might be one of your best sessions.
I did 20 kilo
Yeah.
dumbbell incline, the 22.5 kilo dumbbell incline
Yeah.
presses on the weekend on a day that I thought I was going to have a shit session.
fun.
I was fucking
Good girlfriend.
Set your intention before you walk into the gym.
Yes,
We've said that before as well.
absolutely. Yes,
Set that
definitely.
intention. And I think also too, when you finish your session, reflect on it.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to go, you know what, it wasn't a good session, but I had my period or I had a mental health thing or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And take a note of that. Add a note in your program. And you can then look back and go, hang on, I've used this excuse a few too many times here. When am I being real honest with myself here?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good chat, ladies.
Yeah, that was great. And
See you girls.
I know, miss you.
It's so good to keep
Happy
our
birthday.
little like
It is.
habit.
Yeah, I'm so glad we could do
Such
this.
a
And
habit
like, obviously,
person.
Moni, you've got so much travel coming up at the end of the year again. So it's just so cool that we can constantly keep
Yep.
getting these recorded, no matter like where we all are. So it's great.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Love it.
everyone. So thank you for tuning in. So this is our very first podcast
On Zoom.
via Zoom. So it's been quite successful, I think.
Hopefully.
Love it.
So once again, if you like this podcast, please share it, tell your friends about it. But until next time, Queen,
we got you.
We got you.
Angela.
See you, man. Safe
Bye.
time.